What did a farmer in the American state of Michigan find buried underground that surprised scientists around the world? This farmer was plowing his soybean fields when he suddenly spotted something strange. While we have previously covered discoveries of hidden treasures underground, this time we are not talking about million-dollar treasures, but rather astonishing objects that were accidentally unearthed, which are still unexplained. Before we start, make sure to like this video and subscribe our channel. Mysterious shell in Argentina. In Argentina, a landowner never imagined that something so extraordinary could emerge from his land. While walking around his property, he suddenly noticed a strange round object that looked like a dinosaur egg. However, the truth was even more fascinating. Curious, the farmer began digging. The object was buried 3 feet underground and took considerable effort to excavate. When researchers examined it, they discovered that it was not a dinosaur egg, but a part of a 10,000-year-old animal, a shell belonging to a glyptodon, an ancient giant armadillo-like creature. These massive animals used their shells for defense. The most astonishing fact? Despite being buried for thousands of years, the shell remained incredibly strong. When weighed, it turned out to be 2,425 pounds. Raising the question, if the shell alone weighed this much, how massive was the entire creature? Mysterious coffin in Siberia. In 1970, miners in Siberia were working at a depth of 70 meters when one of them noticed a marble coffin buried underground. Without wasting time, they began extracting it. However, the coffin was much heavier than expected, making the process slow and difficult. When they finally lifted it out and opened it, they were in for the shock of their lives. Inside the coffin, they found the perfectly preserved body of a young woman. To their amazement, it looked as if she had only been dead for a few hours. But there was something even more peculiar. Her body was submerged in a pink liquid. The miners were baffled. When they removed the body from the coffin, it began to decompose immediately. Authorities were alerted, and the coffin was urgently transported by helicopter to a scientific laboratory. Scientists examined the mysterious pink liquid, which had kept the body preserved for centuries. Their research suggested that the chemical composition of the liquid had changed over time, making it impossible to reverse engineer. However, one thing was certain: the people of that ancient civilization were far more advanced than we previously believed. Woolly mammoth skull in Michigan, USA. James Bristol, a farmer from the U.S. state of Michigan, was digging his fields when at a depth of just a few meters, he noticed something unusual. Sensing its significance, he immediately halted the excavation. To uncover the truth, heavy machinery was brought in, and excavation resumed. As digging continued, the object became clear. It was a massive skull. Excited by the discovery, James contacted Michigan authorities. When the skull was sent to a laboratory for analysis, it was confirmed to be that of a woolly mammoth, a species that roamed the earth 15,000 years ago. These mammoth-like creatures were considered highly dangerous and were much larger than modern elephants. It is believed that ancient humans hunted them for their tusks, using them to craft weapons. However, due to climate change and global warming, these magnificent creatures eventually went extinct. Giant human skeleton in Africa. Over time, archaeologists have uncovered numerous fascinating finds buried deep beneath the earth. However, a shocking discovery was made in 2012 in the mountainous regions of Africa. A human skeleton of extraordinary size. This ancient skeleton was many times taller than modern humans, with a skull that was several feet long and wide. Scientists believe that thousands of years ago, human beings were much taller than they are today. However, over time, evolution and environmental changes caused human height to gradually decrease. Whale graveyard in Chile. During the repair of Chile's coastal highway, workers encountered something so bizarre that they were forced to halt construction. While working in the Atacama Desert, they discovered not 5, not 10, but 75 whale skeletons, all clustered together at a height of 120 feet on top of a rock formation. Even more puzzling, the ocean was nowhere nearby. When archaeologists arrived and conducted an investigation, they discovered that these whale fossils were between 2 million to 7 million years old. Scientists theorized that millions of years ago, this area was once a shoreline. A well-known behavior of whales is that when they fall ill, they instinctively beach themselves. However, the real mystery is, how did so many whales die in one place? These discoveries remind us how many secrets remain buried beneath our feet, waiting to be uncovered. What do you think about these fascinating finds? Let us know in the comments, and you can click here to watch 5 mysterious discoveries which are still unexplained. If you liked this video, you will definitely like that too. Thanks for watching.